Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. What happens when BTS has to face extreme levels of spiciness, while still answering the deepest questions about their lives? In this episode of Hot Ones with Sean Evans, we don't just see them struggling against super spicy sauces, we also get to witness their most honest, most human, and warmest sides. From Kim Namjoon's confession that he's actually not that good with spicy food, to reflective moments about their career journey filled with challenges. And of course, the most heart-melting part, the small yet meaningful interactions between Park Jimin and Jungkook that always steal the spotlight. The glances, the touches, the simple gestures, which somehow feel the most real amid the chaos of intense heat. Trust me, this isn't just an ordinary spicy food episode. This Hot Ones episode features BTS alongside host Sean Evans in the show's classic format. Guests must eat chicken wings with increasing levels of spiciness while answering deeper and deeper questions. From the very beginning, the atmosphere feels relaxed, warm, yet filled with anticipation for the extreme challenge ahead. Before tasting the first wing, there's a very human moment when Kim Namjoon, also known as RM, talks about Koreans' relationship with spicy food. He reveals that while many Koreans take pride in their spicy cuisine, not everyone can actually handle the heat. RM himself honestly admits that he isn't very strong when it comes to spice, even mentioning that some other members feel the same. However, he places his hopes on Jungkook as one of the strongest, and notes that Park Jimin is fairly resilient too. From this opening conversation alone, the group's dynamic is already clear: competitive, yet relaxed, warm, and full of their signature humor. As the eating begins, the mood remains light. The first wing isn't too spicy, so their reactions are calm. Comments like delicious, sweet, and easy are heard. But they quickly realize an important aspect of the show: the heat doesn't always hit immediately, it builds slowly and attacks later. This becomes an early warning that the real challenge has only just begun. The conversation then shifts to their creative music process. RM explains that one of their inspirations comes from the 1988 Seoul Olympics, particularly the song Hand in Hand, which carried a spirit of global unity. BTS wanted to create a modern version of that spirit, music that brings people together across different backgrounds. In the process, they also incorporate traditional Korean elements like Arirang, a folk song with deep cultural significance. This highlights that BTS doesn't just make pop music, they blend cultural roots with a global approach, which is one of their greatest strengths in reaching fans worldwide. Meanwhile, the spice level starts to rise. Their reactions change, from relaxed to cautious. Comments like, "This is spicier, I can't eat much," and the classic advice, "Drink milk," begin to appear. They tease each other, even joking as if someone might give up. This mix of real suffering and humor keeps the atmosphere entertaining. As the episode progresses, Sean Evans begins asking deeper questions about BTS's career journey. He brings up their early days, from performing in small venues to eventually achieving large-scale global tours. Their answers are reflective. They acknowledge that difficult times, especially during the Danger era, shaped their mentality. Facing pressure and uncertainty became the foundation that made them stronger in dealing with future challenges. They also discuss the physical toll of being touring artists. After concerts, their bodies are often completely exhausted, ears ringing, bodies swollen, energy drained. Yet the next day, they must return to practice and perform flawlessly. The contrast between their perfect outward appearance and their physically drained reality is something rarely seen by the public. They even compare it to the sensation of spicy food slowly hitting the body. The challenge becomes more interesting when a special sauce made just for them appears. When they try it, they say it reminds them of Korean fried chicken, once again connecting the experience to their culture. In between, there's a casual moment when Jungkook talks about food, especially teok, rice cakes, and how to cook them so the seasoning fully absorbs. The conversation feels natural, like a simple chat among friends. The topic then shifts to personal experiences, including fishing. One member shares his first experience tasting fresh sashimi directly at sea, which gave him a new perspective on flavor and food quality. This simple story adds emotional depth and shows their personal side beyond the stage. A nostalgic moment follows as they recall their early days in Daegu and their journey to Seoul to chase their dreams. The atmosphere becomes emotional, even nearly bringing one member to tears. But as usual, the moment is quickly balanced with jokes from the others, creating a perfect blend of emotion and humor, a hallmark of their close bond. As time goes on, the spice level reaches a more serious stage. Sweat pours, faces turn red, and the atmosphere intensifies. To add fun, they play traditional Korean games like Yanori and Wat, introducing their culture to a global audience. They even create an extra rule: the loser can't drink milk, a punishment that feels incredibly harsh under the circumstances. Even simple games like 369 become much harder due to the overwhelming heat affecting their concentration. This shows that the challenge isn't just physical, but also mental. Their reactions grow more intense. Some begin to admit fear, not just of the current spice, but of the even more extreme sauces to come. Amid the chaos, the conversation continues. They discuss their album creation process, including rumors that they recorded around 120 songs while in Los Angeles. They explain that each song is listened to, discussed, and even rated together. This process reflects a high level of collaboration and dedication in their work. The discussion then turns to ARMY, their fandom, which has its own culture, language, and memes. BTS acknowledges how important fans are in their journey. Interestingly, when asked how they spend time alone, their answers are simple: reading, taking walks, visiting museums, or watching movies, a stark contrast to the chaotic, spicy situation they're in. Entering the superlatives segment, they are asked to choose members who fit certain traits. Almost everyone points to Jungkook as the one closest to everyone, reinforcing his role as a friendly and connecting figure within the group. As they reach the final stage, they are clearly at their limit. Their focus drops, their thoughts become scattered, and the conversation turns increasingly chaotic. Yet, they remain committed to finishing the challenge, including trying the legendary final sauce, the last dab, known for using extremely hot peppers like Carolina Reaper and Scorpion Pepper. Their reactions are intense: shaking hands, flushed faces, teary eyes, even near tears. They jokingly say the experience should be illegal, highlighting just how extreme the heat is. Despite being in such a difficult state, BTS still shows professionalism. They take time to greet ARMY, express their love, and even promote their activities enthusiastically. This demonstrates their dedication as artists who always give their best, no matter the situation. But beyond all the extreme challenges, there's one thing that continues to capture fans' attention: the warm and natural interactions between Jimin and Jungkook. Even in a chaotic and high-pressure environment, they always seem to find ways to connect with each other. One of the most memorable moments is when Jimin gently pats Jungkook's head, a simple gesture that feels incredibly sincere, like a silent expression of care. On the other hand, Jungkook's warm gaze toward Jimin is just as captivating, a look that seems to say more than any words ever could. Their chemistry always feels natural and unforced. Even in a high-pressure situation like Hot Ones, their bond remains clear, full of comfort, trust, and warmth that's hard to explain. Interestingly, this dynamic is also reflected in BTS's recent concerts. In one moment, after Jimin finishes his speech, Jungkook immediately applauds enthusiastically, a small gesture that shows pride. Shortly after, when Jimin is about to step onto the stage, Jungkook instinctively watches him closely. Without any exaggerated movement, he makes sure to give Jimin space to step comfortably. Then, gently, he reaches out his hand to help pull Jimin up, even though Jimin is already almost fully on stage. This small detail reveals a great deal of care, a natural reflex that can't be faked. And it doesn't stop there. There are also sweet moments where they exchange smiles in the middle of a busy concert. A brief glance, a small smile, simple things that might go unnoticed if not for fan-captured videos. Yet it's in these moments that their chemistry feels the most real. For some people, interactions like these may seem ordinary. But for ARMY, there's something different in the way Jungkook treats Jimin. There's a softness, attentiveness, and comfort that feels uniquely special. While debates about the meaning behind these interactions will always exist, one thing is undeniable: These small moments are part of what makes BTS so deeply loved. In the end, this Hot Ones episode with BTS becomes a unique blend of humor, culture, music, physical struggle, and genuine emotional moments. From laughter, to the pain of spicy heat, to heartfelt reflections, everything shows why BTS is loved all over the world. And among all of that, it's the small moments, like the way Jungkook looks out for Jimin, that leave the deepest impression. If you feel the same way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more warm and unforgettable Jikook moments. See you in the next video.